We're kicking off our 5-day journey with a stop in Salt Lake City, Utah. We stopped to take a look at the salt flats, ended up staying the night in Salt Lake City while Chris did his training, and then we headed north. We drove all through the day to get to Montana, stopping in Missoula at the Cracker Barrel to spend the night. Next, we made a pit stop in Libby, Montana at Burger Express, one of those small town gems you just can't pass up. You always have to get a burger or a soft shell express. Now, no trip through Montana is complete without stopping at Whitefish, where we hit up the Montana Tap House for their poutine. You know you have to try it. And of course, a cold beer to top it off. The poutine was cheesy, crispy, and everything we wanted along the drive. One of the highlights of the trip was celebrating our granddaughter's 6th birthday. We spent the day painting pottery and having a pizza party. It's so much fun watching her creativity come to life. As a special birthday present, we painted her new bedroom. It's so rewarding to create something she'll love. Not every part of our trip was smooth sailing. Google Maps led us on an unexpected adventure through Highway 95 in St. Mary's, Idaho. We wouldn't take that route again. It was a bit of a rough ride. But hey, what's an adventure without a few wrong turns? And the dogs had a blast, especially when we found a sandy beach along the Salmon River. They loved getting out and playing. And who doesn't enjoy a beautiful drive along the Salmon River, watching the beautiful sunset? The silver lining? We found a beautiful waterfall after pulling over to stretch our legs. Sometimes the unplanned stops are the best ones. After spending the night in Boise, we made a quick stop in Mountain Home to check out the iconic jet in the park. It's such a neat sight to see. Then we headed to Bruno, Idaho for a quick stop at the cemetery to visit my grandpa. We then hit the road again, stopping at the Riddle, Idaho store. It's a tiny, out-of-the-way spot that's been part of so many of my childhood memories. One of the most stunning moments of the trip was driving past Wild Horse Reservoir. The sunset was absolutely epic, casting gorgeous colors over the campers and the mountains in the distance. We watched the sun dip behind the mountain. It was the perfect end to a long day on the road. We ended the night in Elko, Nevada, resting up for the next leg of our adventure. The next morning, we packed up and hit the road to South Lake Tahoe. We drove over the mountain from Reno, passing through the area where a fire had just come through. It was heartbreaking to see how close it came to some of the homes, just feet away. Along the way, we passed Diamond Peak Ski Resort, and as we drove along Lake Tahoe, the views were breathtaking. Sadly, since the dogs aren't allowed at the lake, we couldn't explore much, but it was still amazing to see the lake and its beauty from the road. That night, we camped in our truck at one of the South Lake Tahoe campgrounds and treated ourselves to pizza for dinner. It was a simple, perfect way to end the day. The next morning, we packed up and left our campsite at South Lake Tahoe. The drive ahead was beautiful, and we couldn't wait to see more of what California had to offer. Driving through this part of the country is a treat. The mountains, the lakes, the open road, it's just breathtaking, and I can see why they filmed multiple movies here. On our way to Bishop, California, we stopped at Mono Lake State National Reserve to stretch our legs. The lake and the surrounding Mono Basin National Scenic Area were absolutely stunning. It's definitely a spot worth visiting. Mono Lake is estimated to be over 760,000 years old, making it one of the oldest continuous existing lakes in North America. The lake is about 2.5 times as salty as the ocean. Because of its high salinity, the only species that can thrive in the lake are brine shrimp and alkaline flies, which support the vibrant bird population. The lake is famous for its eerie limestone two-foot towers formed underwater when the freshwater springs rich in calcium mix with the lake's carbonate-rich waters. Mono Lake has no outlet, meaning all the water that flows into the lake only leaves through evaporation, which concentrates minerals and salts. The Mono Basin is volcanically active, with volcanic activity shaping the landscape over the centuries. Nearby, you'll find craters and domes from past eruptions, and the region is considered geologically dynamic. After stopping at Mono Lake, we hit the road again, taking Highway 120 towards Bishop, California. This stretch of the road offered some truly stunning views as we made our way across the landscape. Highway 120 is a beautiful drive full of wide open spaces, mountains in the distance, and that perfect sense of adventure you get when you're out on the back roads. The route from Mono Lake to Bishop, California offers plenty of scenic and adventurous stops. Here are some of the ideas for adventures along the way. Mono Craters, June Lake Loop, Convict Lake, Mammoth Lakes, Hot Springs, Crawley Lake, Rock Creek Canyon, Bishop Tuff and Owens River Gorge, Ancient Bristlecone Pine Forest, Bishop Creek Canyon, just to name a few. Highway 120 will give you the sense that you're on a roller coaster, so buckle up and hold on for the ride. Don't mind my screaming. The GoPro doesn't even show how drastic these drops are. As somebody that doesn't like roller coasters, this was quite the adventure, and Chris was having fun scaring me at the same time. So buckle up, Buttercup. Worst part was, we couldn't see what was on the other side of the hill. We found many campsites that we're going to have to come back and explore, and it looked like lots of hiking trails. Once we arrived at Bishop, we had to treat ourselves. We stopped for some delicious gelato and barbecue, because after a long day on the road, you've got to reward yourself with good food. The flavors were amazing, and it was a perfect way to refuel before heading back out. As we made our way back towards Nevada, we were treated with one last surprise, a stunning sunset that painted the sky in brilliant colors. It was the perfect way to end the day. Moments like this remind us why we love life on the road. Those peaceful, awe-inspiring views that make every mile worth it. Thank you for riding along with us. We've got more adventures ahead. See you on the road.